Hi everyone, Stephanie from Mrs. D's Corner here. I'm so glad that you're here over here on my Facebook Live event today. Today I'm going to talk to you all about IEPs and organization and your student binders and how do you organize everything and how do you keep it together, and I just have piles of stuff everywhere all over my desk. I still do too. It's just a natural habit of a special ed teacher. We're prone to having piles of paperwork on our desks, but I'm here to help you get a little bit more organized, especially at the beginning of the school year. So I'm going to show you two different things that I utilize in my classroom that are going to help you get more organized for your caseload and then getting your student and stuff also organized. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my caseload binder. You can find this in my TPT shop. Okay, so it's the ultimate IEP caseload management binder. And so I'm going to show you kind of like how I put it together, because I get a lot of questions on, how do you put your binder together and how do you use it in your classroom and what does your binder look like? What order do you put it in? So I figured I would share it with you, share you my binder, just to kind of give you, the heads up to give you ideas of how to use it yourself. So I use the original one. There's like 15 different themes. You can pick whichever one you want if you're going to use this. So I just use the original one, put my little binder spine. This is only a 1 inch. Okay, so I use a 1 inch binder. And what I do is when I open it up, beginning of every year when I need to reprint things, is I print just the whole thing. Okay, so I don't go in and edit anything. I just print the whole thing as it is. And then so you'll see I have all these tabs, right? And if you've seen pictures of it or seen it in use, you know that there's all these tabs. So how do I put them in order? What order do I put them in? So the first thing I do is I print all of these like binder dividers, is what I call them. I print them all on cardstock. So I print them first, and then I put them in the order that I want them to be in. So there is no like one way to do this, however it makes best sense to you. So I start with contact information, then I go to my caseload, my student information, calendars, parent info, IEP meetings, accommodations and modifications, FBAs and BIPs, transition, 504s. I don't have any 504s, but I keep it there just in case, I ever need paperwork for that. And then I go into all of my progress monitoring data in my sheets, because this includes over 100 editable sheets for you. That you can use. So I print them all blank. I don't use the editable version at all. I like to write names and things like that, and I like having a master copy. So then I go into sorting them by things that are going to help me keep their goals, progress monitoring, behavior sheets, reading sheets, math sheets, other forms that I need, and then work samples. So this is just, honestly, it is like a base binder for me. It is where I keep all of my original copies. Okay, so when you look at student info, though, the one thing that is different, it's not an original copy. In my student info, I will keep on this page, so it's blank for student confidentiality, but I will keep, if I have 7 kids, I'll have 7 sheets of this in this binder every year to keep track of that. So this is how I keep track of like all of my sheets and all of that fun stuff. I use something completely different for my student binders that's a lot easier for me to keep track of. Doesn't have nearly this much paper, and it's super, super easy to use every year. So, and I just put this in my shop this morning because if any of you are interested in it, I wanted you guys to be able to grab it too so you can get organized. I used it all of the last 2 years teaching life skills, as well as that IEP management. This will be my 7th year, I think it's my 7th year teaching special ed, so I've been using it the whole time. So this, my classroom is color-coded. If you want to see, pictures of my color-coded classroom, you can go on my blog and search color-coded. You'll see pictures. I literally color-code everything, like bins. This year we have color-coded pencils. Like I have orange, purple, blue, green, like 6 different colored pencils because we fought over pencils last year. So I nipped that in the butt and I got colored pencils this year. So literally everything down to the pencils is color-coded in my classroom. So there's no fighting. I can say, Joe, go get your pencil. And they go grab, whatever color pencil he is, green. I don't have a Joe. But I teach elementary life skills. I have kids in grades 1 through 4. So this is a binder that color codes with my entire classroom. There's 6 colors, so I use 6 colors in my classroom. If I have 7 kids, I'll double up on a color. And then I'll label it with their name so that I can say still, hey, go get your go get your whatever, your scissors out of your orange cup. And they'll know with the cup with their name on it is the cup they need to go to. So each of my students has their own binder. Now this is not something in elementary school that I have my students keep track of. In middle school, it might be something your students can keep track of. Not for my elementary kids. This is something that I do to keep track of all of their paperwork for them. So I have the cover. It's orange. Last year it was really funny because the melon heads that matched. So like orange was one of my girls and there was a boy on the front, and I went to the meeting and they were like, well, she's not a boy, like why do you have a boy on the front? I said, well, that's just kind of the color that the orange one was. It just happened that way, which is pretty funny. But spines match, so I put their name on the spine. This is my name. And then I put the year. So every year I'll change the cover out. And then inside is where all the magic happens. Okay, so inside at the beginning of the year, so all of my students' binders are going to look like this right now. They're going to have their progress monitoring rings, which is if you want to try these, they're a freebie in my shop, and there's also a blog post in the description for you to try these out. And then their inclusion data sheets, so they're color-coded too. I try to find the melon heads that matches them the most, so I picked one that looked like me. Put my name on it because my color is orange. And then all of their data sheets are in here. These are also in my shop, and they're editable. So what do I keep inside of this lovely orange binder? The first thing that I keep track of in here are the goals and objectives. And so I think there's like 7 sheets. That's it per kid. I stick them in the little sleeves because it's easy to put papers inside. I don't have to hole punch anything. I can literally slide it behind and it works. So the first thing I keep track of are goals and objectives. Now those I will 3-hole punch and put in here. And then I keep track of progress reports. I'll also stick their grades because we have to give grades too, number grades for my kids, which is fabulous. And so I'll put that underneath progress reports too, but I focus more on progress reports, so that's why it's labeled progress reports. Then I'll go into every marking period. So we have 4 marking periods. So the marking period 1, this is where I keep all of their work samples for the entire year stays in this binder, and it's a 1-inch binder, okay? So I don't go any bigger. I've never had any problems needing any more space than 1 inch. So I keep 1-inch binder. For period 1, it's in this little clear sleeve, right? I stick all of their work samples in behind period 1. So after period 1, I don't have stuff falling out. You know, I don't have a folder full of stuff that's in my file cabinet. It's literally all in this binder. Same for period 2. So we go to marking period 2, literally stick it in here as we go. Period 3, same thing. So marking period 3 and marking period 4. That is how I keep track of all of my student work samples. At the end of the year then, I will go through each binder, pull out all of the information, all of their work samples, and stick it in a manila folder. If they're moving up, I'll pass that information on to the next teacher at the middle school. If they're staying with me, it goes inside of a larger folder that then gets passed on to middle school when they move on up. And then at the end, I have notes from parents. I don't get many notes from parents or from home, but if I need to keep them, I want them all to be in here with that child's information. Okay, so this is how I keep everything. I mean, this is how I stay organized with my child's IEP goals. When the new IEP comes out, I stick it right in here. So that's how I stay organized. It's super simple. 2 completely different things. Okay, now if you already own this IEP binder, I'm working on adding the student binders to this, okay, so that will match your theme. If your classroom is color-coded like mine, this is something completely separate. I don't have a color-coded IEP binder, but this is in my shop as well, and I think it's like $2.40. So you get all of it. It's editable, add your kids' names. But that's how I keep everything organized in my classroom. It's really, really helped the last couple of years, especially in life skills. When you have kids, you know, all over with different disabilities, different age ranges, levels, and everything. So I hope that helped you. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. Here's where you can grab, and I came prepared this time. I printed it backwards. If you want to grab an IEP binder, you can see all of them here. Hey, Allie. And then the student IEP binders, the color-coded ones that I just did are right here. So if you want to grab those, you can grab them there, take a snapshot of it really fast. Again, you can also check them out on my blog. I blog about all those different things. But if you have any questions, leave a question in the comments. I will get back to you to kind of help you out, or you can email me. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your summer if you're not back to school yet. And I go back next Friday. So I'm going to enjoy my last week of summer and get stuff done. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.